as we all wait now for the New York Jets to find a way to embarrass themselves as they've now hired Aaron Rodgers to be their general manager, team president, talent evaluator. Oh, and by the way, quarterback as well, although it's not official yet. And we all jump at these ridiculous reports out there, starting yesterday with Trey Wingo that it was a done deal. Oops, guess you got that one wrong, right? And now we're being told by a reporter that barely gets everything right, although sometimes she does, that Aaron Rodgers has given the New York Jets a wish list of players that they should sign, in addition to Al Lazard, Mercedes Lewis, Odell Beckham Jr., and Randall Cobb, and Partridge in a Pear Tree also, because that's where we're at right now, because apparently Aaron Rodgers doesn't really want to be a New York Jet. And now the Jets are being forced to add player after player after player to make being a Jet palatable for Aaron Rodgers. That's where we're at. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, Ken?
I don't know if I technically agree with the way
you agree with it because it's right.
I'm not
if
sure.
If he wanted to be a Jet, he'd be a Jet. He doesn't want to be a Jet, so now he's making demands.
I think that he's making requests.
Yeah.
Such as, hey, I have a security blanket. His name is Randall Cobb.
He did that the last time he came back. That's right.
I think Odell Beckham Jr. is an insanely talented player, and my GM didn't go get him in the last couple of years. So do you mind bringing an OBJ back to New York? I think Aaron Rodgers is making requests of players he'd like to play with, and I have to admit, and maybe it's the desperation of watching a crappy football team for many years without good quarterback play, but I am willing, as a fan, and if I was Joe Douglas, to reply to Aaron, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir,
listen,
and yes, sir.
You want the guy, obviously, he's not talking about hacks to come in here and play all the Mercedes Lewis hasn't played since 83. And Randall Cobb's essentially done. We saw him last year, but he's a security blanket. And I respect the fact that you go somewhere new. You want to have a guy or two or three that you know personally because it makes transitions easier. I don't care how old you are. You go to a new school, it'd be good if you had a friend there. You go to a new camp, you wish you had a friend there. You go to a new job, it'd be nice to have a friend there. I get all that. But there also has to come a point, and I don't know what that point is, where the New York Jets do say to him, you either want to be a Jet or you don't. All the other quarterbacks are now getting jobs elsewhere. Not that they wanted Jimmy Garoppolo or Derek Carr, to be fair, but they don't have a quarterback at any level right now. And there does come a point where the money's not the issue. He's going to be paid an exorbitant amount of money no matter what. Apparently, the compensation between them and Green Bay, I guess, has been agreed to, or is not at least a stumbling block. And now the question is, does Aaron Rodgers want to be a Jet? And I think quite firmly, and I could be wrong, the answer is clearly no. Because if the answer was yes, you become a Jet, and then you work from the inside and try to get this guy or that guy that you're friendly with or have a relationship with to finish off who the Jets go out and sign. So here we are. Brett Favre didn't want to be a Jet. He became a Jet. Maybe the same thing happens.
I don't think this is proof he doesn't want to be a Jet. I think it's proof that he's a loyal friend, and he'll do whatever it takes to get his pals jobs.
He's like special.
He's like Hulk Hogan going to WCW. You want me? You better take Brutus Beefcake. You want me? You better take Jimmy Hart. You want me? You better take the Nasty Boys. I know you don't get that reference, but trust me, it's actually spot on.
I don't know why Rob Dibble would be wrestling. I don't understand that.
Aaron Rodgers is the most loyal friend that you could have. But I'm curious about something because I'm not sure if that.
I'm curious about you because
I'm pretty obvious.
This happens to you maybe once a year at most.
What's that?
Maybe even once in a lifetime as a fan, where all of a sudden I'm a tough guy, Evan Roberts. Yeah. I hold everybody accountable. I make demands. I check facts. I see things with great clarity.
Oh, I have great clarity, bro.
All of a sudden, the great Evan Roberts, right? The great Evan Roberts.
No one calls me great.
The Wizard of Oz himself, suddenly willing to accept being mistreated. All of a sudden, you're not being critical of a guy that in every other way you'd be critical of.
Because I am
you're begging.
Because
That's why.
am, much like every other Jet fan, or I should say most Jet fans, I'm desperate. And I'm not going to let Randall Cobb on a 1-year, $1.5 million deal be the thing that makes me blow it up. Are you willing to have that happen?
At some point, have some self-respect.
No, what I'm curious about.
Just tell the guy, you either want to be a
no,
Jet or
hold
you
on.
don't.
Hold on, let's frame it this way, because I like to frame it this way.
Yeah,
because
it makes you happy, because you're a beggar.
Are you willing to walk away from Aaron Rodgers, who you agree gives them the best and only chance to compete this upcoming year?
Yeah.
Are you really willing to walk away because you won't sign Randall Cobb to a 1-year deal?
Does Randall Cobb make them better?
No. But that's not the point.
So then,
You're willing to blow the whole thing up because you don't want to give a roster spot to one of his buddies?
I'd do it. One of his buddies, 4 of his buddies.
Well, they're not going to sign all of them.
Now it's Randall Cobb. Now it's Alan Lazard. Now it's Mercedes Lewis.
No. Hold on.
Yeah, how many more friends do we have to sign?
Alan Lazard is not fair in this because he's actually a good football player who the Jets could use, whether Rodgers is here or not. What I would
But that's not the genesis of why they're going after Alan Lazard.
But that's not the point. I wouldn't use that in this argument because I think it's unfair. Mercedes Lewis and Randall Cobb are much better examples because they're not good anymore.
That's fine.
And you'd literally only be signing them to keep Aaron Rodgers happy. So my question to you, and I guess the answer is yes,
he's not even here yet, and we're concerned about keeping him happy.
No, hold on.
Don't you see how this is going to end?
I want you to answer this.
This is going to be a disaster.
Well, okay, you're jumping around the place. Let's stay focused for 1 second.
I'm pretty focused.
No, you're not. You're everywhere. I want you to answer this question.
Go ahead.
You're willing to say no to Rodgers because of a contract to Randall Cobb?
That's right.
That's crazy to me.
Why is it crazy?
Because it's not worth blowing it up.
Okay, so then I got to say yes to everything he wants.
No,
Let's just
everything.
call it the way it is. He now runs my franchise.
You're not signing.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Jet for 2 years. He now runs the franchise.
For the short term, adding bit pieces like Randall Cobb and Mercedes Lewis is not that big of a deal. You're acting like it is.
No,
it's
is.
not.
And you know it is.
No, it's not.
Because if we're already kissing his ass down on bended knee, pulling his zipper down to make sure he's satisfied before he even agrees to come here, it's gonna be a disaster.
What happened?
You know it and I know it.
Don't you
This is, I thought Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh had self-respect as men. And they're on their knees now, groveling. And I apologize. I'll probably never talk to Joe Douglas again for saying it. But come on. We're now trying to take care of a wish list for a quarterback that we're going to give $50+ million a year to? Is that what we're going to do now?
What, Craig, are the better options, sir? What are the better options?
I want to vomit in my mouth.
You could say all that. You could talk about it all day. But come September, you're a Jet fan. At least I thought you were.
I'm a Jet fan. I want them to win.
What gives them a chance to win? I'd love to hear your answer.
Not Randall Cobb and Mercedes Lewis.
Aaron Rodgers
and
does.
Alan Lazard.
No. Alan Lazard's a good football player. He's a good blocker. He had 60 catches last year, got in the end zone 6-7 times. He's actually a good football player. I wouldn't include him. And by the way, you love Odell Beckham Jr. He's on the list, too.
I do love him.
So again, if all of this disgusts you so much.
It disgusts me to my core,
What's
Evan.
the better option? Oh, silence! I finally shut him up because he doesn't have an answer.
I just want to go home. That's what I want to do. You people disgust me.
So you don't have an answer.
You guys have given up your manhood, your fandom, and everything rational for a guy that's going to be here for 2 years at best, and we're... Pardon me.
Yes, careful.
Before I get a little carried away there.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what I was worried about. He doesn't want to be a Jet.
That's not proof he doesn't want to be.
Because if he did, he'd be a Jet.
He's using his power right now to get some things he wants.
Look, I'm telling you, he's the best option at quarterback. I'm not denying that.
He is.
Yeah, for 2 years, that's it.
But you're willing to blow that up over Randall Cobb and Mercedes Lewis?
Yes.
And if you do that, because you're a big tough guy, and you walk away from Aaron Rodgers, and you tell him to go bleep himself, I'd love to hear who you're now moving on towards. I'd love to hear
I got the answer.
Go
Lamar
ahead.
Jackson.
That's fine. 2 first-round picks.
Done.
Guaranteed $200 million.
Done.
That the Ravens may well match.
Done.
And then if they match, then what?
Then I go off to Matthew Stafford.
Oh, God. You think the Jets are winning anything with Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, as much as they're winning with Aaron Rodgers.
See, that's where we differ. Aaron Rodgers gives him a shot. He gives him the best shot over this 2-year period.
Matthew Stafford's won a Super Bowl more recently than Aaron Rodgers.
He's got a bad neck, and he played how many games
Aaron
last year?
Rodgers has a bad thumb.
It's a thumb.
Yeah, and you throw with that thumb.
It's not a neck.
You know what? I'm disgusted by you. Now you're taking me off, too.
What I do?
Because you've caved. You've given up all of your typical hold people accountable rhetoric.
Well, who am I holding accountable?
Caved.
I've been firm
You're
on Aaron
on your
Rodgers.
knees, Evan Roberts.
Who have I caved to?
You've caved to the man.
Who's the man?
Aaron Rodgers.
I've always wanted Aaron Rodgers, and
Yeah.
sometimes you've got to do things to get the person you want. And yes, before you even bring it up, I know I did this 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and I know it
This is your
failed,
thing now.
but I'll do it again
Of course.
because the Jets have won nothing.
This is your MO.
And the main reason why they've won nothing is they haven't had a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers for 2 years
I agree.
gives them a shot. So stop giving yourself these fake muscles that Randall
I
Cobb
walk
is the
away.
reason why you'd walk away. That's lunacy.
How about this, Aaron? I'll tell you what. You agree to the deal, and then we'll do our best after you sign with us to go get the guys you want. But we're not doing it now. We're not playing this game. We're not essentially giving you our franchise because that's what they're doing.
Oh,
It's a
stop.
2-year run, and we're it's desperate, it's pathetic, and I hate it. And you have to get Aaron Rodgers. I'm sure everybody's going to be happy because he's the best quarterback we will have ever had. And knock on wood, he wins a hell of a lot of games. I will root for him because I'm a Jet fan. But at some point, take control of your
stop.
franchise.
You're making
this is an embarrassment.
You're making too big of a deal over a couple of bit
too
players
big of a
that
deal.
A-Rod wants to
Okay,
add.
let me ask you a question.
It's not the end of the world.
Let me ask you a question.
Of course.
Why hasn't he agreed to come to the Jets
Maybe
yet?
he already has.
He
I
hasn't.
don't know.
He hasn't.
No one knows anything. That's the one thing I've learned about this Rodgers thing. Nobody knows anything. But what I would do is do everything I can to give my team the best chance to win. And the one thing you cannot argue, you've admitted it sometimes, is that Aaron Rodgers in this 2-year window, even if it means Mercedes Lewis is signing a 1-year deal, gives this franchise, a franchise that has won nothing, the best chance to win.
I'm not arguing
I will
that.
sign the deal with the devil like I did 3 years ago, and I'll do it again. And I'll keep doing it, Craig, until there's a freaking parade.
You know, there's an old line, I think that's apropos of a moment like this, Evan.
Go ahead.
I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. And that's just how I'm going to go. And this is not a knock on his skill or ability. I'm acknowledging he gives the Jets in a very short window the best chance to win. Great. Awesome. Nobody's ever disagreed with that. But it's very obvious he doesn't really want to be a Jet.
Oh, stop.
He only wants to be a Jet
Stop.
with conditions.
No.
Condition 1.
No.
I want you to bring in 3 of my buddies. Okay, fine. Condition 2. I want you to go get Odell Beckham, give him whatever he wants. Because what happens when Odell Beckham says, hey, Aaron, they only offered me $9 million. I need 15. He's going to then go to Joe Douglas and go, give my guy 15.
No, I think
and
he
what
would.
are we going to do?
No, I think what happens when they don't give him that kind of money is he demands a trade to Phoenix. Oh, wait, I'm confused. Something happens. I'm not sure what it is, but here's what I know. If by some fluke next winter there's a parade down the Canyon of Heroes, are you not going to show up because you didn't want to be on your knees?
Well, number one, I don't like parades.
Oh,
And,
you'll be there.
I will not be at any parade.
You'll
I
be
don't
there
go.
shirtless, celebrating on the float with Joe Douglas.
I won't. I'm sorry.
Yes, you will.
I won't. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
you will. Sometimes you've got to do things to get where you want to go.
Yeah,
and
is
in
that right?
sports, right now, the Jets have to do these dirty things. And if it means a 1-year deal for Randall Cobb with the corpse of Mercedes Lewis, you do it.
No, well, you know
Sorry.
what? Sometimes you don't do it
You
because
don't.
not doing it
So then you end
is
up
the right thing
So
to
then
do.
you end up with Matthew Stafford, who has a
Great.
bad neck, and they win 7 games. Super.
By the
I
way,
can't wait for that football
He
season.
had a bad neck a year ago. He's just fine. I saw the MRI. He's good to go.
Did you?
Well, here we are. I guess we're down to the minutia now. We're not going to sign him until he gets what he wants. It's not just about giving him $500 million. Now it's they got to get this guy and that guy and this guy and that guy. Because remember, here's the reality. If he wanted to be a Jet, he would already be a Jet. He only wants to be a Jet with certain conditions. And at some point, you have to say, listen, enough's enough. Do you want to be a Jet or not? We've got the business of running a franchise to get to. And that's why I'm upset about it. Because I knew this was going to happen. It was predictable. And now here we are.
Nothing has happened. They haven't signed anybody on that list.
Yeah.
So to jump to the conclusion that that's his only condition or that's his main condition of being a Jet is BS.
And I'll do you one better.
What if he comes here and none of those guys are added? What would you say?
I tell you what, if I'm Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, and Denzel Mims, and I was just having a seance by a fire, burning a cheese head, and I'm all excited about this guy being my quarterback. And this guy looked at the roster, and probably other than Garrett Wilson, saw my name, and now he wants to bring his own wide receivers in. Yeah, how's that going to go over?
Well, the good news is Garrett Wilson was the only receiver at the seance.
How's Elijah Moore going to handle that?
Moore, quite frankly, I don't give a rat's ass.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Elijah Moore demanded a trade last year.
Now you're going to accommodate it?
No. Now we're supposed to care about how he feels? How does Zach Wilson feel?
I mean,
it doesn't matter. You've got to do what's best for the team.
Yeah.
And the one thing you can't argue, even though you may not like Aaron Rodgers and you may not like this process.
I happen to like Aaron Rodgers.
No, you don't. Is he gives them the best chance to win.
I like Aaron Rodgers a lot.
A couple of guys on a list that we don't even know is real is not the thing that would make me walk away from this. Okay. Because here's the other problem, Craig. We're in too deep. They have now gotten to the point.
We can walk away right now.
No, they can't.
Sure we can.
No, they can't.
We can walk away right now.
Bro,
there's Baker Mayfield.
There's nothing left.
Oh.
Even Sam Darnold is in San Francisco.
You mean they misplayed their hand?
No. I think they're playing. I think they're playing their hand brilliantly. They have to go get Aaron Rodgers
because now Aaron Rodgers has them over the proverbial barrel.
Really?
They misplayed their hand.
That's not true.
They didn't do this the right way.
What's the right way?
And now they're sitting there desperately going, "What do you want?"
What's the right way?
The right way would have been get him signed a month ago.
They've tried.
They didn't.
The man's making a decision on retirement or non-retirement. They couldn't put a gun to his head and force him to say yes. They have to give him time to make that decision.
And you keep saying, I keep telling you you're wrong, but you keep saying it.
About what?
This is not about retiring.
Of course it is.
No, you want that to be the story.
That's what Aaron has said. I've got to take him at face value.
He has never said that.
Yes,
not a single time.
He said it's between retirement and playing. That's why it's part of why.
He didn't say it's being retirement and playing for the Jets.
No. He never said that. It's retirement and playing.
You've taken that and made that it's the Jets or I'm done.
The reason I've said that is because
that's what you want it to be.
No. It's because the Green Bay Packers have shown us over the last few days they have no interest in this man being on their team.
I didn't say what the Packers want. Aaron Rodgers will go back to Green Bay.
No, he won't.
Sure, of course
he won't. Not with the Packers not wanting him back.
He's taking $60 million to play football this year. Just a matter of who's giving it to him.
Aaron Rodgers will
you guys are on your knees, taking dollars out of your pocket like you're John Morant at a strip club going, please, Aaron, dance for me.
Yeah.
Please.
Because if we give him enough of those dollars, we're going to get the greatest lap dance we've ever gotten. And guess what? We're going to enjoy it. That's the key.
Wow.
Why are you so miserable? What happened to you?
I'm in a great mood.
No,
I just find it fascinating that you, of all people,
What?
are now willing to open up your mouth and insert because it'll get you the guy.
Is that new to you? I've been saying that for years. I'll do anything for my teams to win.
We'll take Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah. Dude, I took DeAndre Jordan. I'll do it again. And when you're a fan of teams that don't win, which a lot of teams in this town fit that bill, you're going to do what it takes from a transaction standpoint to win. And I'm sorry. Stop freaking out over Mercedes Lewis.
By the way, I'm not freaking out.
It's not
going to
a
be
big
a disaster.
deal. How about Odell Beckham Jr.? You're okay with that one?
I like Odell Beckham Jr.
But also, I'm confused by this because I was told by someone I know that Odell Beckham Jr. has already picked a team.
Don't even think about touching a button in there.
Because maybe our committee, who I'm so proud of, both Loogie and Big Mac, maybe last night they did a lot of research and found the audio.
Meaning they got an email from you?
Of Craig Carton saying specifically last Thursday.
What did I say?
Odell Beckham Jr.
Go ahead, play it.
Yeah, play it.
Play it.
Go ahead.
I got no problem. By the way, I know where Odell Beckham Jr. is playing next year.
We still care about this?
I'm just telling you, I know where. Hold on, stop for a second. Stop for a second. Oh, you didn't care where he's going.
No, I care.
Yeah, and that's it, done right there. You had no interest about where Odell Beckham Jr. was going.
Well,
now that Aaron Rodgers wants him, you have a lot of interest in where he's going.
I'll take him, sure.
Oh, yeah, I'll just take him. I'll take him.
How high can you go? I just went pretty high.
That's all I got.